that we push to get that number table before this board and approve that first, and that might resolve a lot of the issues that people out there in the town of Mendocino, no matter which side of the aisle they sit on, might resolve. So can we conclude this?
Yeah, let's move on.
Oh, okay. Nash?
If I could, Nash Gonzalez, Planning Director. What we can do is we can work with the applicant to look at alternatives and options at this point. But as I mentioned a couple weeks ago to the board when we talked about the transition, maybe it was last week, what we will do is we will bring back a work program to the Board of Supervisors in the next few weeks to talk about the town plan, the logistics, the costs, the timing, and so on. And as I mentioned before, the priority right now would be to finish out the housing element, to finish out the general plan, to finish the UVAP, but also working our way into the town plan along with the LCP amendment or LCP update also.
Yeah, and Ash, I'm sure you completely understand the, I guess for lack of a better word, the urgency of the situation to move these things along. You know, what's really, you know, and it's a wonder we haven't been sued or attacked more on. We languished in our general plan update for 6 years, and nothing happened for 6 years. And this board, I'm sure, wants to, you know, I mean, we realize it takes time to do these things, but we need to push the schedule along ASAP. So with that, I think we'll just move to the next item. Thank you. Okay, we're going to move to item agenda item 10, appointment to boards and commissions. Looks like the only thing on the list is item U, the Walla Municipal Advisory Council. Do we have Supervisor Colfax? Would you want to?
Yeah. Let me find my papers. Thank you. I'm so glad to have you here.
It's nice to have a staff person.
Yeah, it is. It's really nice. We have 4 applicants, and I would like to recommend Arlith Scott Howard as the applicant of the 4. That's item U.
That's your nomination?
That's my
Mr.
nomination.
Howard? Okay.
Yeah, as alternate on the GMAT.
I'll second it.
Second. We have a motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Okay, that's I guess that's the, okay with that. Okay, we have a off-agenda item here.
I gotta get out of here.
We're,
Yes.
Supervisor Smith, I guess you.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. First, I would need to just very briefly tell you what it is and then ask council for her ability to make the findings for an off-agenda item. This comes to us from the local Ukiah, California Conservation Corps. It is our understanding through the director of the Corps' facility in Ukiah that the governor is considering the elimination of the California Conservation Corps statewide. This would be, I think, a serious blow to true educational opportunities for, in many cases, disadvantaged youth. It would be a serious blow to economic viability, particularly in Mendocino County. We've gone through this before, and luckily we were able to pull this out with support, I think, on the governor's staff that saw the validity of the CCC and the cost effectiveness of such a program, especially for rural areas. They do a lot of work on stream restoration. I've toured a number of projects of theirs on the state parks, at the Woodlands, also part of the state park system. They've constructed comprehensive and very large bridges. They just, they're often solicited to work on private land holdings to do restoration work. They do work for nonprofits. It would be a serious blow, I think, to lose this locally. The estimation here is that the impact to the economy of just Mendocino County alone would be because of the aggregate of this, if this function were to totally leave Mendocino County, would be well over $1 million. So I would like to ask that if council could make the findings that because of the short time frame, we would be able to hear this and hopefully get a unanimous support for this letter that would go to the governor and members of the legislature.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Put it on the
exactly.
agenda.
Yeah.
right.
That's
We
what I
have
was
a-
just asking council,
Yeah,
could
you
she
can
make the findings?
because of the urgency of this
Yeah.
item, and it needs to get
So
to
is
the
that a
governor's
motion to
office.
put this?
Well, so
So-
you're supporting that
Yes.
we
Yeah.
can make the appropriate
Yes.
So we can make
Yes.
the appropriate findings.
I just couldn't get it in quick enough.
I know.
She
I was
was
going
talking
on
so
it.
Okay,
fast.
so we have, that's a motion?
That's correct.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion by Supervisor Smith, a second by Supervisor Brown. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion carried unanimous. Okay, now.
So now
you
we
want
can
further
act-
discussion, or we could, Tom, did you want to comment?
Actually, just procedurally, I have two ledge items under the CEO report that we didn't do today. That's still an outstanding issue
Okay,
that I
yeah.
still need to cover.
Okay.
So I would like to ask, I believe all board members have been provided with a draft letter It's for this off-agenda item. This goes to the Honorable Governor, as well as a number of members of the Assembly and the Senate. And I'd like to add Don Peterson to this, because he's our legislative advocate in Sacramento. So I would like to make the motion to send the letter provided us on
We
this
have a
issue.
motion by Supervisor Smith. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Supervisor Colfax. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Motion carries unanimous. Okay, with that, we're going to move back to
Let me speak.
agenda item 5, legislative report.
Tom Mitchell, Chief Executive Officer, just wanted to make sure that for those members of the listening public, AB 885, I know Supervisor Pinches went down to the mass gathering in Santa Rosa. There is a new workshop that I believe has been scheduled in Santa Rosa. The date I see here, I think, was February 20. Comment proposal has been extended to February 23rd. And then they have a workshop on February 9th, session 1, and another session, and that's from 1 to 5 p.m., and another session from 7 to 11 p.m. So there's a lot of activity based on that huge crowd that we had down there last week. And I don't know if Supervisor Pinches, are you going to go again to any of those?
I wasn't really planning, because after I went down there to that meeting, I realized that this issue is really beyond a few speakers getting up and talking about it, because the masses of the people, I'm talking young and old, hippies, rednecks, everybody was there in vigorous opposition to that. So, and frankly, if they don't even have another meeting, I think the message is out there loud and clear of how the public thinks on this issue, and it's coming in from all counties. So if I have the time, I will certainly go, but I don't think it's, at this point, it's a real necessity. Supervisor McCowan?
Could we renew our request that they hold a local hearing, since the time frame has been stretched out?
Well, frankly, with the letters we sent, we've never got an email, a phone call, or anything from our elected representatives on that issue.
So perhaps we could follow up on that, or ask that the CEO follow up on that,
Yeah, I mean,
or unless you would like to.
it's, yeah, I don't have no problem with that. I don't see at this level, I think it's beyond that. I think the importance is, the message is out there. I guess we can hold.
Well, the message is out there, but I'm not sure who's received it, because I heard one of the people that's been very involved in crafting the rules in an interview on a local radio station, essentially upholding the wisdom of what they were doing. And yes, we've heard these complaints, and we'll fine-tune it and come back with a better set of rules, but I didn't get the impression that they were going to be demonstrably different from what we've seen. So I think this is something that if we let up, we'll be right back where we were.
Supervisor Brown?
Thank you. I agree wholeheartedly with what John's saying.